I'm a nobody, baby. Light me up, pour me up. I'm gone. Got me seeing genies in a bottle. Liquor got me feeling like a wrestler. Call me Santiago. Everyone listen when I speak. Don't know shit about shit, but I know ball.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Two Nobodies with the Mic, episode 128. Shout out to Eddie Money, center stage there, for hooking us up with a new intro.
I got hard.
Yeah. play that shit again. That shit.
I got hard. Dude, that shit was fire. The edit was good, Eddie Money.
The edit was good. Eddie Money.
Thank you.
Shout out to
got hard piece on himself.
Yeah. Shout out to
I didn't even look at it too much.
Can we play it again? Is that possible?
I got you.
I'm a nobody, baby. Light me up, pour me up. I'm gone. Got me seeing genies in a bottle. Liquor got me feeling like a wrestler. Call me Santiago. Everyone listen when I speak. Don't know shit about shit, but I know ball.
Yes, that was awesome, man. Very, very cool. Shout out to Jaybird for writing that song. And I don't know, dude, AI. That's why you can't trust the radio anymore. I mean, if he can make that song, I mean, come on, imagine. But welcome everybody. We were off last week. A lot of things to talk about. March Madness, NFL drafts coming up. We have the Masters starting tomorrow. Got the green hat ready to rock, man. What else we got? NBA playoffs. What two
Playoffs
games
coming
left?
up.
2 games left, right? Baseball season has kicked off.
Dude,
For all you thought,
Eddie, I got a fucking Michael Brown. Great intro ruined by Eddie Money. Eddie Money's chapstick again.
oh jeez, I didn't even notice that. Oh man,
I didn't even notice that, to be honest with you. Michael Brown's got something.
Michael Brown's always looking at my lips, man.
He's always got some shit.
He's fixated. He's fixated,
Yeah.
for sure. But shout out to Michael Brown for chiming in. We still appreciate you. But episode 128, guys, we are the gambling show of record. We have, as aforementioned, Eddie Money, executive producer. What up, man?
What's up, man?
Big game today. Lakers,
Huge
Dallas. We have, Rafa, the Connor McDavid sweater in the background. That's fire. That is absolute fire. Rafa, the guru, is in the house. What up, man?
What's going on? I had to put Connor McDavid because we're going to talk some hockey. And you know, if I put up the Harry Kane, nobody's going to know who the fuck Harry Kane is. And I don't have an Ovechkin. But I wanted to do a...
Wait, Harry Kane's the football player.
I'm sorry, Evander Kane. I apologize. I was watching soccer today. I'm
You know what? I shouldn't have said anything. No one would have known. Either way, they probably wouldn't have. Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have known. They probably wouldn't have known. Right. So,
man, Michael Brown would have known. But guys, thank you guys for joining us. How's life, everybody? Eddie Money, what's going on with your world? Let's give us an update.
Working on a senior project for school, building like a testing room for propellers. So
really
doing that, designed the whole thing. Now we're in the building process. Hopefully be done.
How's your chapstick game going?
Great. I got Aquaphor on me all the time.
I knew it.
On me all the time.
You look like a Vaseline dude. You don't even use chapstick. I think you're just pure Vaseline.
Strong to quite strong. Yes.
Yeah.
If you remember the show in Living Color, Eddie, like I'm sure Eddie Money's never seen it, but he reminds me.
I know Living Color.
All right, so you give me Wanda vibes.
Wanda, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Rafa, the guru's in the house, man. Playing. I mean, Rafa, you have the circus camera going on, dude. You just shrinking by the day.
Yeah, it's all the golf.
I gotta say, when I was editing that intro, I had to give you guys props. You know, you guys are a lot slimmer. You guys
we can't.
Person combined.
Dude, between the both of us, 1,000%, we lost a grown man.
You guys probably
lost
me.
Kidding?
Oh
Dude,
yeah, yeah.
Jackie was telling her nail lady, she's like, "Oh yeah, my husband's lost like over 120 pounds." She goes, "Oh my god, that's my whole body." She didn't, she's from Vietnam. I didn't want to do an Asian accent. I
Yeah, yeah.
usually
Oh,
do, but
yeah,
last
I,
week.
I too early in the show to do
That sun's
She would've
still out,
been-
Rafa.
the sun's
That's-
still out for me to
yeah.
offend people.
Yeah. Rick
Yeah.
Flores, Trickster's in the house. What up, Tricksters? That's like a Avengers Endgame. She just turned into dust, 120 pounds, just disappearing.
Gone, just
Yeah,
gone.
yeah. But yeah, feeling good. Rafa's playing a bunch of golf. I'm stepping up my game. My wife is letting me play more or not letting me.
She's not letting him, and he's
Yeah,
just fucking doing
yeah.
it. Don't
I'm
fucking
just-
go out here, Eddie, because that is my biggest fucking problem with people. I hate to see the videos of all these fucking guys. Oh, it's just my wife, or a video where, oh yeah, your wife, the wife lets him go play golf, and he's like, oh, are you sure? And this and that. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. And that's not Eddie's case at all.
She is upset with me though, because when it comes to mornings at work, I hit the snooze alarm like 3 or 4 times. When I'm golfing on the weekend, and we set early tee times, 4 a.m. 4:30, it's like me coming out of a casket. Like I just rise like that
The
alarm.
Undertaker.
Yeah, the Undertaker. Go. I just pop up. She's like, when you're golfing, you have no problem waking up. I was like, yeah, it's true, man. It's
because,
true.
dude, it's an event, and you prepare your fit for the day. You already, I don't lay it out, but I kind of have an idea already, and I kind of try shit on the night before.
Is it like
look,
that? Like the first day of
seriously.
school when you lay it all
Oh,
out?
Exactly. That's exactly
Every
how
time.
it is.
Every
fucking time. Every time. At least
I lay
Saturday,
out.
Sunday.
I lay out 2 fits.
You just kind of.
I lay out 2. Shanae always knows when I'm golfing because I'm always doing laundry the day before. Always doing laundry just to make sure I have
You gotta have
everything, man.
options. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
have options.
Yeah.
But dude, it's the same. Like, look, Jackie's going with me on Friday, and so she's got her outfit for Friday. She sent me a picture of it today. She's like, "Oh, look at this is what
Nice.
I'm gonna wear." So she's just the same, and she's just riding along and drinking. She's more like drinking along is what it's gonna be.
Bro.
It's
We gotta
100%.
start doing DJ Khaled foot to head fit checks. Go slow, feet to head. Every golf outing, we should do that because we take much pride in our golf fits. Much pride.
See,
Probably
and,
more-
and there you
more-
go,
more
Put
right
you on
there.
blast.
Thank you, Sinead. It's not putting them on blast. It's letting them know.
Yeah,
Eddie's been
yeah.
married for 35 plus years, or
Yes.
been with his wife
Yeah.
for 35 plus years. So when you get to
Yes.
that point, it's like, listen, honey, I'm gonna go play golf today. And then, that's just what it is. Sinead's not lying. It's not about being macho. It's about understanding certain men's
Yes.
needs. And if your
Yes.
wife is an angel, as our wives are, they will understand your needs.
Yes.
That's all it is, fellas.
And if
that's
your
all it
wife
is.
isn't and if your wife isn't letting you go, man.
She hates you.
Yeah.
She hates you. Dude, I played 4 days in a row. 18. Yesterday was like my Sunday. It was like I played fucking, 72.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
How was
Yeah.
and the final round was your best?
Was
it-
the best round. Was the
Yeah,
best
there
round.
you
I
go.
should have worn red yesterday.
You should have worn red.
I should have worn Sunday red yesterday.
Well,
It
let's
was my
let's
best round. All ass,
before-
by the way, but still good.
before we get into you're fired, let's talk a little Masters, man. I mean, I don't know if the algorithm for you, Eddie Money, because anyone that I share anything with, I have invaded their algorithm with golf ads, golf everything. My wife sends me more golf memes than fucking Rafa at this point. It's freaking crazy. But Masters, the Wednesday Family Day Part 3 contest was today. If you guys haven't seen it, it's the golfers bring their kids. They dress up in little caddy uniforms. Got Rory's little daughter hit this incredible putt. Who else? Rory's buddy from England as well. It's really, really cool, man.
Max actually hit a putter with his
Oh.
son's baby. He hit a putt for birdie with his son's mini little baby putter.
Very, very cool stuff, man.
So very cool.
And if you golf or if you don't golf, and even if you don't, the Masters, I watched the Masters even when I didn't golf. But when I started golfing, it's what does Jim Nance say? It's something like it like no other. It's just it's
An
just
event like no other. I think.
an event like no other, and I'm so excited to kick that off tomorrow. Do we have any favorites, Rafa? Any guru picks? Because we are the gambling show of record.
Oh, dude, the thing is, I'm a homer, so I'm a homer when it comes to golf. For golf,
All of
I'm
a
a
sudden-
homer.
Wow. And the
For
most
golf-
individual sport.
Wow.
For golf, I'm kind of a homer. I want to see all the live guys. I want to see John Ram be up there battling on
Hold
Sunday.
hold on.
Bryson.
A homer is being like you don't work for live. You don't.
I know. It's
you
just
don't
that
play
I hate.
for live.
I know. It's just that I hate the PGA guys always crying and shit. You know what I mean?
No!
It's like, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Listen. The PGA guys, they stood true to the game. Okay, they didn't take that fat ass check from the Saudis to honor the golf game and keep it going. Because listen, you don't watch live. Don't tell me that you watch live golf. There's no way.
No, I don't. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I don't watch live golf, and when I rarely watch the PGA on the weekend. Like on Sunday, you won't catch me watching it. I seriously, unless I know it's like, there's a couple top guys battling at the end. Other than that, I'll watch like Thursday. I literally will watch Thursday. Around the first round on Thursdays, I'll watch. But when I watch content. So I watch Bryson break 50. So I want to see that. I like John Ram. I watch John Ram. I love Phil Mickelson. If you watch Phil Mickelson videos on chipping from inside of 100 yards, there's nobody better. Bro, he hit a shot off the cart path the other day. When the fuck have you seen that?
He's incredible. But that's the thing, Rafa. But that is my pet peeve. That is my gripe with the live guys. It's like if the NFL were to split and Patty Mahomes, Derrick Henry went to go play for this league, that you really have to search and find.
That's different. Because
what do you mean? No, it's exactly the same.
That's a team game, Eddie. That's a team game. This is an individual sport. And they took deals. Think about it. I don't know what the numbers are. You might know them better than me.
Oh,
they're huge, right? 200, 300, 400 million dollars, right?
When
the fuck? Think about it. Scotty Scheffler had a year for the ages, and he made $64 million. He won the Masters. He won the FedEx Cup. He won a bunch of tournaments, and he made $60 million. Bro, these guys will never make it. You can add up his total earnings, and I'm sure he didn't make more than the highest paid guy, that whoever live paid the most, which might have been John Ram. They didn't make that. So at the end of the day, and they're still playing in the majors. They're still playing all four majors.
True. Okay, but Scotty Scheffler has had one of the greatest 2-year runs. Obviously, comparable Tiger Jack, a couple other guys, Arnie Palmer, but he became a superstar. He became a household name. He wouldn't have that status type if he took, like Dustin Johnson, and
who's
that
the
money.
Biggest name in golf right now?
It's still Tiger Woods.
Besides Tiger, because Tiger's not playing. But right now, of all the guys that play every weekend,
I think it's a tie.
There is no doubt about it.
No.
As someone who doesn't watch golf, I'd have to say it's Scotty.
Okay, it's Scotty and then Bryson, DeChambeau, because he's such.
Dude, that guy has more YouTube clicks than Scotty and any other golfer combined, probably. It's.
Okay, that's true, but he has to do that because he's on live.
No.
He's great. He's great for the game. He's great for the game, Rafa. But I want to see him play against the best dudes in the world. I want to see him compete against Scotty, against Max Homa, against Rory, against the best.
They're
wouldn't.
doing it in the 4 main events. They're doing it.
Well, I guess that's why everyone's going to be locked in. But they offered Tiger $900 million.
Tiger doesn't need $900 million because he's got it.
Can you
True
can
that.
you guys like explain the whole live PGA thing in like either NBA or NFL terms?
It's not. You can't even explain it. You really can't, because the Live paid a bunch of guys a bunch of money up front, right? 5-year deals for 100 million, 120 million, whatever, like a shitload of money up front. But they can still play in the 4 major tournaments: the U.S. Open, the British Open, the Masters, and the PGA Championship. Right? Those are the 4 majors, and I believe they can play in all 4, maybe 3 of the 4, whatever. They may not be able to play in the FedEx, at the PGA, but I'm not even sure about that. But I know they can play in the U.S. Open, the British Open, and the Masters. That's 100% locked, and I'm sure they can play in all 4. So they basically went there. They only play 3 days. There's fucking music playing. They can wear shorts. It's a little bit different.
And they're on teams.
And they play individuals, but they're also on teams. So there's team prizes. There's team prizes, right? But you still play individually. So it's
Is
a
it
different
like F1-esque type of?
Or
like they're on teams, but they can be
you could
individually?
say that. Yeah, you could say that. It's like NASCAR. You're on Hendricks Racing or Joe Gibbs or whatever. It's kind of like that.
You're too young. You're too young for sure to remember this, Eddie Money. But was it Trump who started the USFL back in the early 80s? They started another league, and they started drafting like Jim Kelly, Herschel Walker. They started offering to rival the NFL, and they started paying these a brand new league and started stealing stars. Now, eventually it went under. Guys wanted, got their money and eventually went to the NFL because they want to play against the best. They want to play against the best. And the best golfers in the world play in the PGA Championship.
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't
That
know
is
about
a
that. If we,
fact.
Hey, Eddie, if we look at the lineup, if you look at the lineup in Live, the lineup is stacked. You have Brooks. You have John Ram, who was the #1 golfer in the world when he went to Live.
Okay.
So you have Joaquin Neyman, who's been on fire. He's won 2 Live events this year so far. I mean, there's plenty of talent on the Live side.
Cameron Ward, or
there's plenty of guys on the Live Tour that
Cam Ward's
are
in the NFL. He's about to be in the
Cameron,
NFL.
Cameron Smith.
Cam Smith.
Yeah, there's plenty of dudes who are in Live. Phil Mickelson. I mean, it's star-studded. It is star-studded as well. There is no doubt about it. And you know what they should do? And they should do it. They should take 8 guys or 10 and 10 or whatever and play an event. Not a 2-on-2, because Scotty and Rory did fucking whoop up on Bryce. Well, I know I'm interested. But anyways, you said the Masters. I'm gonna give you some lines. John Ram plus 1,300. Bryson DeChambeau plus 1,900. Max Homa. I'm gonna tell you, Max Homa yesterday it came out. He took 240 plus practice shots yesterday. He by far was the most. And when you see his chart, it looked phenomenal. Also, I heard from a source, I can't say who it was, but he shot 7 under on the front 9 of his practice round. Max Homa's at plus 15,000. He's plus 2,000 to finish top 5. He finished, I believe, 3rd last year. Keep an eye on Max. That's great odds. I think to have a top 10 finish is plus 1,000. And a top 20 finish, I think, is plus 200. Plus 200. And top 40 finish is even money. So keep an eye on Max. Scotty hasn't played well, and he's plus 650. Rory's like 650. I just think for a golf tournament, guys at 650, it's so hard. There's so many guys in the field, especially this tournament, like plus 650. There's no fucking value there. There's really not. You want to find value in those guys, wait till Saturday morning and then see if Scotty's 5-6 shots behind, you're going to get value in there because you know he can play and make a roaring comeback. Rory, I don't like anything about Rory, period. For me, he's a fucking choke artist. And a fucking crybaby.
I think he's number 2 or number 1 right now in the world. Come on, man.
I don't like him. It's a personal opinion. Fuck him.
I don't get it. I'm a Rory guy. I don't get the hate. I really don't. He stepped up to the plate and really carried the burden of this whole live PGA feud and became the figurehead, the talking piece for PGA. And I promise you, they offered him probably 400 million. And the game was more important to him, Rafa. You got to give him some credit for that.
No, I give him credit. He's a crybaby. That's all. That's it.
Well,
he's fucking crying.
right.
In his prime, he's fucking crying. LeBron
Well-
James cries, but at the end of his prime,
Well,
Which is never.
which is
Let's-
never. This is very true.
I love talking golf, man. But
Last
let's move-
question about golf.
Yeah.
How long is the Masters?
4 days. Every PGA event is 4 days. The live events are 3.
Ah.
So the way it works, Eddie Money, if you've never watched, Thursday,
Never.
Friday, everyone plays to a cut, right? There's a projected cut, then XYZ amount of guys make the cut, and then those guys who make the cut play Saturday, Sunday. And
okay.
depending on the scoring will depend on your group, right? And usually the 2 leaders, they'll be paired up. They're the final group on Sunday.
Did you guys see the ticket prices? I mean, there's so much to talk about.
That's actually
Yeah.
the only thing I know about the Masters is how like hard it is to get
Exclusive.
in, how exclusive
Oh,
it is.
God.
Like no cell phones once you're in there. Concession stand prices extremely cheap. Like no tipping allowed. If you say stuff, you're kicked out automatically. I saw a story that someone stole some sand from their pit, and it cost them $20,000 in lawsuits because they did that.
Wow.
They don't play.
Bro,
They don't
there's
play.
nothing more exclusive in golf than the Augusta National.
There's nothing. They take 4 new members. It's like the Hall of Fame takes like 7 guys in the NFL. They take
Yeah.
4 new members every year, and it's Billionaires Row. It's
4 new
insane.
members plus the guy who won the Masters if he hadn't previously won it.
Mm.
Yes.
Is it arguably the most exclusive group in sports?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think
trying
so.
to think. Yeah.
I think so. By the way,
Yeah.
the winner, which is badass, by the way. So they have a champions dinner. I think it's every Monday night or Tuesday night.
Tuesday
It's a
night.
champions dinner. So all the past champions, they have a dinner,
Fucking sick.
and the menu for that night is the menu. The previous champion chooses the menu.
Damn,
So
that's sick. See, Heisman should do some shit like that, man.
Okay.
they should.
Okay, not
They
not
should.
only that, there's the locker room, and then there's the champion locker room. And if you win, you get to chill in the champions locker room.
Yeah, they also
It-
have a champions range, which is private from all the other guys. So you're able to use that range. And the champions locker room, by the way, since it's so there, it's not big enough, you share a locker with XYZ past winners. Like Scotty's lockers, Ben Hogan and somebody else.
That's wild.
Yeah, so you share the same locker with that person.
And you talk to people, and they say when you pull up to what's the road called? The flower
Magnolia Road.
Magnolia Lane, or
Magnolia Lane.
It looks exactly like it did 50 years ago. Like there has been, I think they don't use an electronic scoreboard. They still have the same scoreboard, like the Fenway Park. It has not. The traditions have stayed true. It's more traditionalist than MLB baseball. Like the traditions are insane.
Dude, a couple
So-
years, not too long ago is when they allowed women to become members.
Yeah.
Like not
Like,
that long
barely.
ago, bro. Not that long ago. Like
Yeah.
like maybe 10, 12 years ago, around there,
Was-
maybe even
was-
less.
Condoleezza Rice was like one of the first one or something, or some
Yeah, I
shit
think
like
I
that.
think so.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it's if you get a chance, I promise you, Eddie Money, we got to take you out. We got to take you out, even if we go to Top Golf first. But Eddie Money is like 6'6". We have to get him special set of freaking clubs. Yeah,
Dude, Eddie Money,
Uh,
believe me when I tell you, bro. If you ever played sports, if you've ever been competitive, even with yourself, if you play golf, trust me, you're gonna be, because people think, oh no, it's golf, it's golf. People say that shit all the time. Oh no, it's not, I play baseball, I play basketball. Dude, there's nothing harder, and there's nothing more to me that there's nothing more you don't get any enjoyment out of anything else.
I mean,
this is different. It's different.
Just think about it, Rafa and Eddie Money. Just think about it. If it's sort of like that that analogy of or really famous rock stars, famous rock stars or rappers want to be athletes, and athletes want to be rappers or rock stars. Every famous athlete, Tony Romo, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry,
Charles Barkley.
list, John Smoltz, Greg Maddux, Charles Barkley, the list goes on and on. If you gave them the choice of whether to be, the best in baseball, these guys would choose golf. And it's that just says it all right there, that these guys are addicted to golf because you can play it until you're 80.
Well,
Dude, I'm telling you, it's something, bro. It is different because you look forward to time. Playing good or playing bad, you still have a good time. And
For sure.
Dude, it's a big difference.
We got to take you out, Big Rick. We got to take you out, man. So, but let's get into, speaking of crybabies, let's get into You're Fired. Every week we fire or hire someone. Hypothetically, of course, we don't have that kind of pool. But let us know. We are live on YouTube. I don't know if we're live on Instagram as well. Let us know if you guys if you want to can someone or promote someone. Who wants to start off with You Are Fired?
I'll start if you want. I'll start. I want to hire and fire someone in the same the same shit. So first of all, I want to congratulate Alex Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals for passing Wayne Gretzky all time on the scoring list. Goals scored, not scoring, because in hockey an assist and a goal count as a point each. So, but listen, and I want to fire the haters. Oh, well, Gretzky still did this. Gretzky is still the greatest hockey player of all time and always will be, because he did both things great. So, but for people like just kind of throwing it away, like just shrugging it off, like, oh, who cares? Not a big deal. It's a pretty big fucking deal that he passed Gretzky, because a lot of people thought it would never happen. 10 years ago, nobody would have ever thought that anybody would beat that record. And he did. So for those people, just appreciate that it happened in your lifetime, and at least you saw it. And some of you saw it twice. Gretzky passing Howe, and now Ovechkin passing Gretzky in total goals scored. So, and hopefully Connor McDavid will be first one day.
I was going to just say, I wonder where they are compared on the list. It is a big deal. It's also a big deal when, J. Cole, puts you in a rap song and your name is Ovechkin. When dudes from, North Carolina, black dudes are rapping about you. He's one of those athletes that has crossed over into pop culture, and it is a big deal. The longevity thing, I don't know why it is, I guess you're not putting as much stress on your knees, but it is also one of the toughest and most physical sports. And these guys, the really good ones, have a tendency to play a long time. You have the Sidney Crosbys, the Chris Chelioses, the list goes on, Bobby Orr, of guys playing into their 40s. And congratulations to him. Now, that being said, the one record that will never be broken is the scoring title all time. I think Gretzky has 1,100 more assists than Ovechkin. No, Ovechkin
1,200.
Okay, 1,200. Ovechkin was more of a goal scorer, right? It's sort of like a Steve Nash, but Gretzky was the total package, except for defense. He, was an assist guy and a scorer. So the great one, much respect, but give your flowers to Alex Ovechkin.
By the way, Eddie Money, so you understand, how Eddie said, Gretzky is the all-time leading goal scorer up until Saturday, and he's the all-time leader in points, total assists, and all that. It's the equivalent of LeBron James. That is exactly what it is. I'm sorry to tell all you Jordan morons, but it is the exact equivalent. LeBron James has 11,000 plus assists and 40,000 plus points. That is exactly what Wayne Gretzky was to hockey.
What,
That's
okay,
the-
hold on. Okay, but where is LeBron on the assist chart? Because
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you where he's at. He's double. That means 2 times more than Michael Jordan's number. 2 times. Jordan had about 5,500 plus assists. LeBron's got over 11,000 assists. Over 11.
LeBron's
That
number
means
4.
all time.
number 4.
All time
Yeah.
as a guy who's not considered a scorer. That people keep saying that he's not considered a scorer because he averages 27 plus points a game for his career, and he also averages a little bit over 2 less shots a game than Michael Jordan did over his career. So Wayne Gretzky equivalent to LeBron James.
Had to sneak it in. He had to sneak it in.
Well,
anyway.
that leads to
There's no more. All the people who say Gretzky's the greatest hockey player of all time, which he is, are the same people that should say, by Gretzky standards, if we're using Gretzky standards, your standard should be LeBron James is exactly that. Because that's what he is. Whether you Jordan maniacs want to believe it or not.
I got a question for both of you then, since we're already on that topic. Which is a more impressive scoring record? Ovechkin taking over in goals, or LeBron taking over Kareem in points?
Ovechkin, I think.
Oh man, that's good. That's really good because Kareem played for a very, very long time as well. I think he played 20 years as well. I'm gonna say Ovechkin as well. Because simply for maybe a small fact that although LeBron wasn't a prolific 3-point shooter, he did have something that Kareem had in his career, but never did. He never shot 3-pointers. So I'm going to say because of that little, tweak in their game, I'm going to say Ovechkin. But that's really good stuff. That's really good stuff. Anyone else? Anyone else want to get fired?
Oh, I don't know if it's a fire. I guess you could call it a firing. I'm gonna fire John Morant. So I think it was like last week he got fined for like pulling out in this gun motion.
Oh, the finger bang.
Yeah.
Whoa!
then-
Yes!
Yes,
Yes! The finger bang!
Hey.
The finger bang. It's not called that, Eddie, but the finger bang,
Definitely
we're going
not
to use it
called
on
that.
this show as the finger bang. Anyway, so John Morant was finger bang. John Morant was
So
finger banging the Warriors.
He was doing
Go
that
ahead.
last week, and
Finger
then
banging.
yesterday they fined him heavy for that. And then yesterday he has a new
Listen, you
3-point
can't be
celebration.
finger banging people in public, Eddie Money.
You,
I mean,
you
that's-
can't be finger banging dudes on the court, man. Can't be finger banging dudes.
definitely not the Warriors either. That's-
No.
Definitely not. Oh man.
Definitely not.
So
He
his
walked right
celebration
into that.
yesterday, what he did after he scored a 3 was he made it, turned to the crowd, threw an invisible grenade, walked away, and covered his
Oh,
head like he blew up the
jeez.
crowd.
I love it.
Oh my god, dude.
He just does not learn.
Oh my god. It's
I mean,
wow.
He doesn't learn. And I had a perfect example, and I sent it to CJ, and I can't say it on this show because it's not what this show's about. So we're not going to talk about it. I'm not going to bring it up.
No, thank
but-
you, Rafa.
But it's stupid because you were warned the night before, and then you go out and, like Eddie said, finger banging. That's what I'm going to use it as. You went and finger banged the Warriors,
Yeah.
and that you
I
were
did.
already warned about that shit. Come on. By the
Yeah.
way, real quick before we get to Eddie's firing, Luka Doncic. Luka, first game in Dallas, 9.5 minutes in, he's got 14.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh yeah. I didn't see, but they were supposed to do a whole tribute. It's like
Yeah,
the most
he cried.
awkward shit. So that leads me into my firing. I'm gonna fire NBA referee JT Orr. And if you guys didn't see the game last night, terrific game in OKC. Lakers had put a beat down on them a couple days ago. And it's a 108 to 107 with 7 minutes and like 40 seconds to go. Luka had previously got a technical, which I'll get into a little bit later. But he hits a fall away off a 1 foot shot, turns to a guy in the crowd who you could see in an angle is standing up and taunting him, and just says one word, I don't know, bitch or whatever it was. And JT Orr gives him his second tee, texts him up, kicks him out of the game. Immediately, Luka, you could tell, he was like, I wasn't even talking to you. I said one word to a fan. LeBron, everyone comes in and tries to explain to the referee that, guy, I was not talking to you. I was talking to a fan, and I didn't go in the stands and hit him. It was egregious. It's just one of those things where you're an NBA ref, whether you're a ref in the NFL, or you're, a blue in major leagues, you have to put your ego to the side. And the fans, front row or top row, doesn't matter. You paid your hard-earned money to see a terrific matchup, a terrific game, and because you got butthurt, and it wasn't even meant towards you, you tee up Luka, and this great game in the fourth quarter. I think they went on a 23-8 run after that. It's just like, come on, man. JT, get, I'm hoping someone sat him down. And then after that, Jacob and I are watching it. The dude swallowed his whistle. Guys were calling fouls out of position because this dude just said, F you guys. He either had, money on it, or, he just has this thing against Lakers. Listen, Lakers are the New York Yankees. They're the Dodgers. They're hated around the country. And but that can't have an effect on referees. But, whatever. But that being said, Rafa and Eddie Money, okay, I pulled up this because I didn't see the whole game, but Luka already had a tech foul. And I went over top 10 guys with the most technical, fouls. Anthony Edwards with 18. Dylan Brooks with 18. All, the usual suspects, right? Isaiah Stewart for the Pistons, 15. Trae Young, 14. Jason Tatum, 14. At number 6, Rafa, is Luka with 14, or tied for 5th with 14. But the thing is, Luka had missed 30 games. And then if you look prior, in the last 5 years, Rafa, Luka leads the league in technical fouls. And if you go over an average, he almost averages a tech foul like every game or every other game or something like that. It's, you wonder why these Europeans get labeled soft and floppers. No one could deny Luka's talent, but, to have LeBron, who everyone thinks is a whiner and flopper already, and now to bring in the biggest flopper and whiner at the same team, this could have an effect going on a championship run. Does it not? Because once you get that stigma, that label of being the complainer, the refs nowadays will tee you up with, like nothing. Rafa, what do you think about that?
Well, I watch a lot of NBA, and to me, when you watch a lot of these guys like Draymond, nobody talks more than Draymond, right? I mean, I watched the game last night, a couple nights ago also. Like, I watch a lot of Warriors games. When you watch Draymond complains about every call, every single play, like literally. And he's gained the respect of the refs, as LeBron has. LeBron has gained the respect of the refs, like Jordan did, right? And Jordan could say whatever, and he'd go to the ref, and he'd let him know or whatever, and they wouldn't tee him up for it, as his career got going, right? So I think LeBron has the same thing. LeBron's gonna bitch and complain about almost every fucking call, right? But the refs respect him. He's gained that level of respect with the refs. I don't think Luka should be there, but I think Luka's whining is a lot more excessive. And Luka seems to talk a lot of shit to the players and to the bench of the opposing team and stuff like that. So that and you don't see that from LeBron. Like Isaiah Stewart, you understand, because he's down there just punking guys and all sorts of shit, right? Like Draymond. When Draymond had those issues, a couple years back, it was always because he was fucking kneeing somebody, he was elbowing somebody, You know, he was a very physical and you know, I'm not going to say a dirty player all the time, but he had some. We've seen him kick guys in the balls a handful of times, right? So you know, it's that. I think Luka once, you know, in a year or two, maybe 3, as the refs kind of understand. Listen, this guy's going to talk shit the whole game, and we kind of gotta limit it at some point. And I don't think they're going to have that issue too many times in the playoffs. And I'll tell you, because LeBron James is on that team, and he's going to kind of let Luka know. One, if he gets one in the first series, and it's like, hey, he's going to pull him aside and say, listen, we can't do that shit here. Like, we're striving to a title. We're striving to win this series, and anyone who they play, you see how stacked these teams are. Anyone who they play is going to be a hell of a matchup, and is going to be a hell of a tough time. So you can't just give away a point and kill momentum after you hit a 3 over Kawhi, and you know, you start doing his little laugh or whatever it is. You're not gonna be able to do that in the playoffs. And so I don't think you'll have that issue.
Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black though? I mean, for LeBron to go to fucking Luka, be like, hey, stop your whining and stop your. I mean, LeBron
has, though, you can see every night that he has the respect for the refs have the respect towards him to not call him on those things. So that's the difference. It's exactly like the same treatment Jordan had and Kobe. It's the same. It's the same shit. And
by the way, you know, I said Luka is tied, you know, for 4th or 5th. Right behind him is Draymond. Right behind Draymond is Ja Morant. So I wonder,
if you watch Draymond nightly, you'd think he should have a T in the first quarter of every fucking game.
With his gray ass curlies on his face, his beard really, I don't know, and I have gray. I don't know why it bothers me so much. Like, dude, cut the stranglers. Anyways, I'm curious, and I don't know this answer, but I just thought about this right now. I'm so curious. In my head, if I'm thinking who leads the league in technical fouls, there's 2 guys that really pop out in my head, and that is Rasheed Wallace, Dennis Rodman. I'm thinking because of longevity, I'm thinking, is LeBron up there? Is there any way you could look that up? Is there anyone else I'm missing? That I mean, it seemed like Rasheed Wallace for 2 years got kicked out of almost every fucking game. I
would say maybe Kevin Garnett up on that list, maybe.
Really? Yeah.
Okay.
Garnett was a talker, man.
Yeah, I got it.
Go top 5, Eddie Money.
All right, starting at number 5. Actually, I think 6 is surprising. I'll say tied at number 6, Anthony Mason and Dirk with 192.
Really?
Anthony Mason, not shocking. Dirk,
not shocking.
Dirk was a shocking one.
Dirk shocking.
Number 5, Dennis Rodman with 212.
Okay,
not a shock.
Number 4, Gary Payton with 250.
Not a shock at all.
Yeah, not a shock. Forgot about
this. This is where we take the lead. Number 3, Rasheed Wallace with 317.
Yeah, man. There's Rasheed talk shit, bro, to every ref ever.
Dude, but after a while, if he farted, they were fucking teeing him up. It got a little bit.
That happened to Draymond for a minute.
Yeah. And then number two, Charles Barkley with 329.
Ah, wow.
And who's number 1?
Number 1's Karl Malone, 332.
Ah.
Okay.
Well, couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
I don't mind it.
Oh God, don't say that, Rafa.
Karl, man, yeah, mailman. He delivered.
He was the mailman.
He delivered.
So did his underage girlfriends. They delivered.
He delivered. It was a different time, Ed. It was a different time.
it wasn't 200 AD.
It was a different time, Eddie. It was a different time.
Don't get into this conversation.
It's a different time. We're not gonna get into that. But since we are on the topic of NBA, I you know, the Lakers are in the 3 seed. Clippers are now in the 4. They were in the 6 last night. First round matchups that you would like to see the most in each conference. What do you guys think?
So I'll say this: Western Conference, besides probably the 1 and 8, I think everything's going to be super competitive. It's almost like the matchups I don't want to see first. I don't want to see the Lakers and Golden State first because I believe everything's going to be competitive. You know, T-Wolves, after blowing that huge lead last night, they got a lot of growing up to do. But other than the 1-8, show me a matchup that's not going to be great. You know,
I think even 1-8 is going to be good. I think even 1-8 because at 7-8 you have right now sits Minnesota and Minnesota and Memphis or Memphis and Minnesota. Memphis is 7. So even that, if you get a Memphis and OKC matchup, I think that'll be phenomenal.
But think about this.
Give me the Grizz.
Think about this. I'm sorry to interrupt. Memphis, when the All-Star break, Memphis was in second place at the All-Star break. So, and now they've dropped to the you know, they're going to be the 7 or 8. I mean, that could, you know, at the All-Star break, that could have been the Western Conference Finals at a point. The West is the best, man. And there's so many intriguing. I would love to see Lakers Clippers. And I'm not sure, you know, what I'm waiting for more than anything, Rafa and Eddie, is, and I'm looking at this game, and it just mind-boggling that Dallas would give up on a player going into his prime after the insane run that Luka had. And I feel like Luka has not hit his stride yet. I think Luka's kind of not been really good on offense. You know, obviously, you know, he gets his shots, but that run that he went on in the playoffs where it almost seemed like if he was taking the last shot, he was making it. If in the fourth quarter, he was just infallible. Like it was insane. Even who I thought, you know, I said last year that Dallas was not going to do anything with Kyrie and Luka, and they found a way, turning on. Luka caught fire. I haven't seen Luka do that yet, you know, on this team. Tonight he's having a good night, but if he doesn't catch fire like that, the Clippers could beat the Lakers. You know,
the Clippers can beat the Lakers anyways. If I want the Lakers, obviously, because I like LeBron, so I would prefer the Lakers to win. But if I'm the Lakers, I don't want to see any of those teams in the first round. No Clippers, no Nuggets, no Warriors. Like Warriors are scary because them adding Jimmy and Draymond, who, you know, people. Let me ask you, who do you think is the best defensive player of all time, Eddie?
The best defensive player of all time, I would have to say, it is going to sound a little weird. You know, when you think about everything, I'm going to put Dennis Rodman up there. I'm going to put a Scottie Pippen in that category. Scottie Pippen, 6'8", was incredibly, you know, just incredible on defense. You know, Larry Bird, Larry the legend, said that Michael Cooper was the best defensive player that he's ever faced. And Coop, if you're in my era, you know, Cooper with his high socks, you know, he wasn't much of he was like one of the first 3-point shooters, but he would D you up. But if I had to say,
pause.
Sorry, I had to say, you know, I think back of Dennis Rodman picking up Magic full court. And when it comes to rebounds, you know, Dennis Rodman was only 6'8", and he was collecting 25, 22 rebounds a night, guarding the best player, you know, Karl Malone. He would guard your best player. So I'm gonna go with Dennis Rodman. You know, obviously the glove. You know, I wasn't too big on Gary Payton being that great. I mean, obviously he talked more shit, but I'm going to say Dennis Rodman.
So for me, I have a similar list as yours. I have Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and Draymond Green. I believe that Draymond Green is one of the best defensive players, and he's, to me, the best defensive player of this era. That's my opinion. So that's when good. You add a Jimmy Butler to that team with the system that they run, their defense is really, really good. So to face them in the playoffs, I believe is going to be a tough matchup for anybody.
Did you see that play that he made in the last minute or two where I think Luka was going up and he got the hand on the ball and he just, he gave him his props. He does, Draymond has always been that dude. And actually Steph said it earlier after that win against the Lakers, that Draymond does the stuff that no one sees in the box score. He does the little blocks here, he's, and I honestly thought he played a year too long. I didn't think he would be this effective, but he has been this year.
Still effective. And the thing about Draymond is that people forget, like the Warriors, when they went to that small ball lineup, which was before Durant got there, right? And he was, dude, I mean, he guards every position. He guards every position. And you will see them if they play Denver, that he will guard Joker. I mean, listen, who's really guarding Joker when he's, probably still going to put up 30, 12, and 10, by the way. But I think the Warriors are dangerous, super dangerous. If I'm the Lakers, I do not want to see the Warriors in that first round at all.
Fully agree.
I mean, it's super.
That's
super
the one I said I don't want to see. I do not
Yeah.
want to see the Warriors.
As of right now, that if standings stay the same, that would be the first round.
That's
just something you don't want to. You don't want. You don't want to see the Warriors and the Nuggets. Right, the Nuggets fired Mike Malone yesterday, which is wild. Who knows what happened there? And watching Denver, and listen, I'm of those people that believe that Russell Westbrook is one of the best players of his era. Okay, but people are now, they're going back to Russell Westbrook the last 4 or 5 years. They completely forget about Russell Westbrook on the Thunder, and it's because he was stat padding. That's why he was getting triple doubles. Go back and watch a game, and that was not that. Okay, but Russell Westbrook right now for Denver, he's standing in a corner waiting for a ball to shoot a three, or he's coming up and he's just taking a shot. Like whoever the new head coach is going to be going into the playoff, and they, it's the one of the assistant guys there who's supposedly really good or whatever. They need to sit Russell down, and he needs to understand that the ball doesn't go through him anymore. That he can't. If Joker's in the game, bro, he needs to touch the ball before you even think about shooting a shot. Like that's just what it is. And watching Denver the last handful of games, Russell has been doing that. The other night he gets a steal, and instead of holding the ball or getting it to somebody to take a free, he misses a layup. Like, what are you doing? The game's basically over. They end up losing the game to Minnesota by 1 because he
committing a foul.
It's just awful. It's just awful.
How tall is Russell? Because I have a take on Russell.
I want to say he's like 6'3", but I'm not exactly sure. Maybe 6'4".
I really
6'3".
truly I believe, and listen, Russell Westbrook has done really well for himself in the NBA, so it's kind of a stupid take, but he plays with more energy, and that's why he got those triple doubles, because he's going after every rebound. He is sprinting down the court. When on 2-on-1s, making the pass, he plays with more energy than I've ever seen anyone play in the NBA. And he still plays like that. And it's almost like you have to put a governor on him.
Yeah, you got to slow him down.
You got to slow him down. It worked in the past because he was a little bit younger and he'd blow right by you. He would still shoot bricks and he would still miss layups, 8 to 9 years ago. But we've seen so many of those bricks. He's such a bad shooter, and he's so out of control at times that the label and the stigma is already there. That's why, which I was gonna say, like, imagine Russell Westbrook at free safety in the NFL. He'd probably be banned. He would kill someone.
100%. He would have killed somebody
because he plays so damn hard. Giggity.
Yeah, Russell. But for me, Denver going forward and going into the playoffs, they need to understand. For me, their lineup, you have to have the Joker and Jamal Murray on the floor at all times. So you need to figure out their rest. If you're going to play Joker the full 12 in the first quarter, play Jamal Murray 7.5, 8.5 minutes. Let him go to the bench. Let him start the second quarter with that second unit. Because you cannot have Russell Westbrook as your ball handler for that
No.
second unit because it will not work. It really won't. And
Yeah.
if you can kind of space it out that way, where Murray's on the court or the Joker are on the court at all times, your offense will be a lot more effective. And Russell will get his offensive rebounds and maybe a 2-on-1 break and get a layup or whatever. But he cannot be your main ball handler at any point in the game because it's going to cost you games. I watched him the other night against Minnesota. He might have had 3 turnovers in 9 possessions. And you're just looking at Mike Malone, and he's just rubbing his head. He goes to sit down. He's like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this guy. It's true. It's true.
Is, man.
I don't know if that's what cost him his job, but fuck, for you to be the 4 seed and cost you your job a week, 10 days before the playoffs.
So
same thing with Memphis. They were struggling there. You mentioned earlier they were the 2 seed. They're now down to the 7, and they're going to be in a play-in game. And is that why they fired Jenkins, who I think is a phenomenal coach, and he'll have a job next year somewhere for sure.
I mean, we've seen some crazy firings in the last 6 years. You think of what's the Lakers head coach, from Indiana? Can't think of
Frank
his name.
Vogel.
Vogel wins a
Vogel got
championship. What
fired by the Lakers, and then Phoenix fires him after 1 season.
Yeah. Ty Lue, I think in the first week after winning a championship with the Cavs, gets fired. There's been some really crazy firings in the NBA as of late. Like the patience level isn't there. Guys who have won a year or 2 ago get fired early in the season. But to me, this is the most wild, off the wall firing that I've ever seen. And Eddie, have you heard any? I mean, everyone's waiting for the story. Like
they don't even have a story on Jenkins yet. And that was 2 weeks. That was last week that Memphis fired Jenkins, and they lost the first game. They've now won 3 in a row. But they fired him. And so 2 teams in the playoffs with winning records go in, and then within the last 3 weeks of the season, fire 2 head coaches.
Yeah, I've seen literally nothing on it.
Right?
Nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing.
So, Eddie, do you think, and this is a crazy thing to think because we know Joker is the most chill, laid back, easygoing, just off the wall, awkward NBA player. Like he went to championship. He's like, I just want to go home. Like, just leave me alone. Can you make this move without going to the Joker and say, we're firing this dude? I mean, dude, he if you piss the Joker off, I don't see him being a guy that will go and say, trade me. I want to go play with Luka, which, in the back of my head, I'm hoping that fucking happens, that the Joker gets to play with Luka in LA. That'd be freaking crazy. But do you think they had the balls to do this without consulting Joker? And do you think the Joker put a stamp of approval on this?
I think they could have easily done this without even mentioning it to him, because he's going to play regardless. And he plays a certain way to where I don't think that it matters what coach is out there. He's going to play the way he plays. He's going to need to grab the ball every possession. But I'm pretty sure he was blindsided. He was like, what the fuck? I think no one understands this.
Rafa, what do you think the Joker had a say in this, or do you think they went to him? This is crazy. I don't think
they did. And tonight's the first night they play. They're in Sacramento, and they're going to play without Mike Malone on the sideline tonight for the first game. So this will be the first time. So we'll see. And usually for me, when I see an NFL team fire a head coach, or an NBA team fire a head coach early anyways, or a major league team fire a head coach, usually the team, if the coach was the problem, the team that first night responds.
Yes.
All right. It was kind of like a weight off your shoulder. We'll see tonight. Denver's line's at 4. It's at 4.5. It opened at 4. So, and they're on the road in Sacramento. So, Luka. I mean, it's something to see, and we'll see. If they brought in the Joker, he probably sat down. He probably, hey, we're thinking about doing this. Joker probably said, I don't give a fuck. So just something yeah, he didn't care. Yeah. He's still going to, by the way, since we're talking about Joker, and I know real quick, SGA, I know, has had a phenomenal season. Amazing, right? He's averaging 30 plus or whatever.
Yeah.
It's been a great season. But dude, Joker's averaging a triple double.
It's wild,
he's
man.
Second in assists. He's 4th in rebounds, and he's 4th in points. and he's not going to win the MVP. And when you
Yeah.
go back, when you go and look at it 5 years from now, and Joker probably doesn't win another MVP because Ant's probably going to win it next year and Tatum the year after that or whatever. And you're going to go back and it's going to be like that time where you went back and you go back and you look at like the year that Harden won the MVP and you compare it to LeBron's numbers. LeBron's numbers were superior. Or the year that Jordan won the MVP and Hakeem Olajuwon was by far superior in every fucking statistic. It's going to be shit like that. Or when Derrick Rose won it and LeBron's numbers blown out the water, or the year that Nash won it when Kobe should have won it. Like, you're going to go back this season and just wonder how Joker didn't win the MVP with a guy, and the other guy, 32, 6-5 or whatever his numbers, or 6-6 or whatever it is. It's not a triple-double and almost a 30-point triple-double average a night. It's insane.
It's absolutely wild. It's because I agree with you. You could give it to him, but SGA he's so good. And I feel like because of the record, right? The thing is, I think Oklahoma is on pace to have the biggest winning differential in league history, Rafa. It's like 17 points.
A night?
It's a night. Average
margin of victory.
And I believe it's somewhere around there. And that's why
it's 12 point something, 12.6.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it was something ridiculous. But that's why PA, because of the record, because of the home record, because of the away record, because that's why you have to give it to SGA. But I would never, ever be against giving it to the Joker. One last question about the Joker. And the reason I asked this question before, what if this did piss off the Joker? What if he did love Malone? Can you see the Joker being a dude like Kobe and staying in Denver for his whole career if they don't continue to put a good team around him? Because listen, Jamal Murray, okay, they put some dudes. What's his name?
No. Jamal Murray's a player. Michael Porter Jr.,
Michael Porter Jr. Okay, he's a player. Okay, but Jamal isn't. He's not. Is he top 15 in the league?
Not a top 15 player.
No.
He's definitely one of the 10 or 12 best point guards in the league. When healthy, Jamal Murray's a hell of a player. There is no doubt about it.
Michael Brown just said it. Can you imagine? I'm just saying, he doesn't seem like the type to request a trade. Obviously, we all know that. It just doesn't seem like the personality. But he's so good. There has to be some. It doesn't look like he's a competitive dude. He doesn't act like that. He doesn't get upset. He's very even keel. It doesn't mean he doesn't love to win. And if this firing doesn't work out and they don't put, if they go out in the first round, which is a very big possibility, Rafa.
Yeah, for sure. Because the way it sits right now, they play the Clippers.
Yeah, you think he's just going to sit back? I don't know where he is on his contract exactly. But I'm just saying, do you see him, riding out and being a Denver, Nugget for the rest of his career?
Denver's done a good job of getting talent, putting talent around him. For me, I think Denver made a big mistake in letting KCP walk, not offering him whatever they could, because he helped defensively. He can shoot the three, which is when you have a player like Joker and Jamal Murray who can pass the ball, you don't want Aaron Gordon getting a ball in a corner, shooting a three. Even though he's a decent three-point shooter, that's not the shot I want. Yeah. I'd rather have Michael Porter Jr. or KCP or Bruce Brown, who they had a couple years ago. I'd rather have those guys shooting the three than Aaron Gordon, right? And Aaron Gordon, when he was brought in, he wasn't able to shoot the three as effectively as he shoots it now. He was more like he's going to help the Joker rebound and stuff like that. So, but they've done a good job. And people mentioning this, like Michael Brown, the NBA needs the Joker to move. It's the same thing 2 years ago when everybody thought the NBA needs Giannis to leave Milwaukee to help, the year after he wins the title, and then they struggle and they got hurt, whatever. And they thought you know what, Giannis needs to move, and then they go and get Dame Lillard. So I think it's the same thing. And so, I mean, who knows? Maybe Miami makes a play for the Joker in the offseason, because you have to look at teams that the Lakers can't grab them. You know, Phoenix. You know, what team can grab a player of that caliber that doesn't already have players of that caliber? So
yeah. No, Michael Brown says, I've watched more Laker games since Luka than I have in the past year. Agree. But here's the thing with Joker, okay? Joker is not a wow, flash, must-watch TV. You're watching him barely get down the court, barely move, barely jump. You put your head down, and he has 27, 11, and fucking 9, and with 8 minutes to go, and it's just the craziest shit I've ever seen. It's not, Anthony Edwards jumping out of the gym, talking shit. He's not a flashy player. That's what's almost so impressive, is that he does this on a regular basis, and it's not, obviously there's effort, but it doesn't look like the most athletic feat on the planet.
He's the best player in the NBA, and nobody cares. and that's the thing. He's the best player in the NBA. Nobody can give two fucks about it. Literally, he had a 60-point triple-double?
Yeah.
He had a 60-point triple-double, and nobody mentioned shit. Like, it wasn't even because it's because they lost the game 142. I think it was 142, 141. And it might have been 2 overtimes or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe it was that, but it's still a 60-point triple-double.
But
and nobody gives a fuck, because it's the Joker. He's European. He doesn't talk. He doesn't jump out of the arena.
What if he did this in Boston, though? Would it be a bigger, obviously, I mean, if he did it, is it because he's in Denver and no one watches? It's like that saying, if a tree falls in the forest, does anyone hear it if no one's around?
SGA's in Oklahoma City, which is a tiny, tiny, tiny market compared to even Denver. And ESPN's licking his balls every morning. So I mean,
he's not finger banging dudes all the time.
No, well, he's not finger banging dudes, because if he was, they wouldn't cover him. So, but
what's up, Matt?
Boston is rolling. We don't want Joker. Fuck Boston.
Oh, give me a break.
Listen, Matthew Rocha, you sound like people who said they don't want LeBron James on their team, or we don't want Kobe Bryant, or we don't want this guy. You always want the best player in the NBA on your team.
Yes.
No matter what. That's just what it is. I mean, it may not fit, but don't say you don't want him. It's the Joker. It's the best player in the league for, I don't know, the last 4 seasons, maybe. He's by far and away the best player. He should be the MVP every season.
Yeah, like Shaq should have been.
Like Shaq should have been. Like LeBron should have been. Like Jordan was.
Let me end on this, because we talked a shit ton of NBA, and it's an hour. I want to take a 2-minute break. But last night, Matthew brought up Boston, New York, another heartbreaker for New York. I watched it. I woke up. I watched the replay. Can you compare Jalen Brunson to everyone? And I'm watching last night thinking, this guy is so damn good. I was thinking, is he Allen Iverson? No, he doesn't have the speed of Allen Iverson. He doesn't have the explosiveness of Allen Iverson. He has the footwork of a Kobe Bryant. Is he a great shooter? No, but he seems to make every clutch 3. Like, Jalen Brunson is a dog. And I wanted to ask you this last night. I'm so glad I like, who are your comparables to Jalen Brunson? Because, my God, this guy, although they lost last night, he is just so damn clutch and so damn good. Can I know they've struggled a little bit, but they're still really good. Can they make that leap, and do they have a shot in the East? But first question, who can you compare Jalen Brunson to, Rafa?
Man, since Matthew Roach is in the chat, I'm gonna tell you who, and everyone will hate me because Jalen Brunson is better than him, right? But if we go back, and not that long ago, Matthew Rocha will remember this because he's a Celtics fan. If you go back to back up the Brinks truck, Isaiah Thomas, who averaged almost 29 a night that season for the Celtics before getting hurt, that's what Jalen Brunson reminds me of. That Isaiah Thomas season, which was, I think, 2016, 2017, in there somewhere. That's what that reminds me of. Back up the Brinks truck, Isaiah Thomas, who should have got paid, doesn't get paid, get hurt, and then now
it just fell off a cliff.
Fell off a cliff. Jalen Brunson reminds me of that for a little bit. Jalen Brunson's obviously better. I'm not saying he's not better. So if you clip this, make sure you fucking clip that I'm saying that he's not better. But that one season that Isaiah Thomas had, and I think the year before he might have averaged like 21 or 20 or whatever.
Yeah.
That Isaiah Thomas, lefty, all of that reminds me of this Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's obviously a better player. And I don't think there's anybody we can compare him to because of the size. He's a lefty,
Yeah. I was trying to think, like, he's not Steve Nash. He's not fucking, AI. He's not Isaiah Thomas. But, yeah, he's so different at his size to do what he does, to not be the fastest, quickest guy, to not be the best shooter. It's just, I just want to give him his props, man, because he's a dude that I love to watch play basketball. Like, I like watching him play basketball. That's a great commercial, by the way. The old Villanova guys. I don't know if it's
on AT&T is great.
Yes,
commercial.
Yeah, great commercial with the Villanova boys in there.
I think the Knicks are a second round exit this year. I don't think they can. And the way it's lined up right now, right? The way the seeding breaks down there, I think the three. And so even if they got to the second round, they'd face the Celtics. I don't know if they can beat them in a 7-game series. Last night, Cat had 22 in the first half. And I think they were up, 4 or 6 at halftime. The Celtics came out, made a little run, took lead by 5, got back into it. That shot that Tatum hits there at the end. Down 3, like up 3, I don't understand why in the NBA you're still letting these guys shoot with 2, 3, 4 seconds left, a 3-point shot to tie the game. Why are you not fouling? I just don't understand that, period. Like, I really don't. The way the NBA goes in today's NBA, there's fucking 5 guys on the floor at all times that can shoot the 3 for the most part.
Yeah.
There's 5 guys on the court, especially in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds of the game. There's 5 dudes that can hit that shot. Tatum hit a great shot, tied the game, take it to overtime. So, but once he got into overtime, the Celtics, obviously superior team, pulled away. You can't, if that's a playoff game, I'm almost sure Tibbs fouls in that situation because you cannot afford to lose a game like that or even extend the game into overtime with a roster looking at that team across the bench, on the other side of the bench. Like, that team is superior to the Boston Celtics. They have arguably, you can say they for sure, in my opinion, I think they have the 2 best players in that series. I think the 2 best players in that series are on the Celtics, in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Then after that, you can go Cat, Jalen Brunson, but then again, you still go to Porzingis right after that. So, I mean, for me, there's no way I allow that situation to let Tatum take even an attempt to tie this fucking game. Whether it was Tatum or Brown or Porzingis, one of them was going to hit that shot or get a look for it. And you don't want them to get a look. So I think the Knicks in a 7-game series with the Celtics, they maybe win 2. I don't know if they beat them. And I like Jalen Brunson. I like Cat. I like the Knicks. I just don't think they can beat them in a 7-game series.
I'll give my last little take on the NBA because I think there's 1 or 2 games left in the regular season. NBA, it's not NHL playoffs, but NBA, because the matchups are so different. It's such a chess game, right? It's such a chess game in the playoffs because you play the same team back to back to back to back. And I was the leader of this. I was a flag carrier for the NBA sucks. Everyone's shooting threes. No one cares. Ratings are down. I said it all. I admit it. I said it all. And you look at the East. You look at the Cavs. You look at the Knicks, the Celtics. You look at the fucking Pistons. And then you go to the West, and there's so many great matchups. I want to say I'm really intrigued, and I look forward to watching it. It's been entertaining, and I don't know. I know Luka going to Lakers has injected an adrenaline shot, a la Pulp Fiction, to Uma Thurman's chest plate. That was a real jolt to the NBA, but it has been very good. I apologize.
Thank you for coming around, Ed.
Thank you for coming around.
Before we go on this break, we are on the NBA, so I'm going to bring up just something real quick. All you Jordan maniacs and Jordan alcoholics understand that since the GOAT has left the Eastern Conference, there is now not a clear-cut favorite every season to get to the NBA Finals in either conference, by the way. So all you guys who said the East sucked when LeBron was there, yet we haven't had a repeat team go to the NBA Finals in the Eastern Conference, right? I don't think we've had one in the Western Conference since LeBron has moved over to the West. So the NBA is so much more competitive now because LeBron is fading and he's 40 years old. So just leaving you with that. Just letting you know. It's just basic shit. That's all.
All right. But
that is, Eddie, you're right. When you look at the NBA, any team, like we can look at the top 6 in either conference, and I think we can say that any of those teams can get to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't be shocked, Milwaukee or with the exception of Detroit. That's the one team I don't think. But you look at Milwaukee, the Knicks, the Celtics, even the Cavs, top to bottom, a phenomenal roster. And then in the West, Lakers, Clippers, Warriors, Nuggets, Thunder. Yeah.
I can't remember it ever being like this, to be honest. Because Golden State had that long run. Like Golden State was just the best team for so long. So
it was Golden State and LeBron.
Yeah,
Golden State and LeBron. Now it's not Golden State and LeBron anymore. It's everyone else.
Yeah.
So, but we'll take a break, right? So Eddie can go tinkle the pinkle.
Tinkle, gonna get some drink.
Yeah. So what are we taking? A 2 minute?
Stick with us, man. Stick with us.
I'm a nobody, baby. Light me up, pour me up. I'm gone. Got me seeing genies in a bottle. Liquor got me feeling like a wrestler. Call me Santiago. Everyone listen when I speak. Don't know shit about shit, but I know ball. Call me the guru. Bells coming ringing when I'm winning. Come on, I told you that's who. Specify, do it live. I told you. Always coming with the heat, Riley with the facts, Jax, let them know. Eddie Money, Luke, CJ, replay my parlay, hitting when I don't even know. I'm a nobody, baby, light me up, pour me up, I'm gone. Got me seeing genies in a bottle, liquor got me feeling like a wrestler, call me Santiago. Everyone listen when I speak. Don't know shit about shit, but I know ball. Call me the guru. Bells coming ringing when I'm winning. I told you. Don't be like guy. Don't be a loser. You know why I'm a nobody. Didn't even try. That's on me. I am that guy. Talk my shit. I said what I said. So many hot takes, mic glowing red. Everybody wanna be about it, I doubt it. Get money, motherfucker, no questions about it. At the win, not complaining about it, we win. I'm a nobody, baby. Light me up, pour me up, I'm gone. Everyone listen when I speak. Don't know shit about shit, but we know ball.
Yee! Will Hanley's in the house. Hope you guys enjoyed our new little break tune. Thanks to Jay Bird for coming up with that little song for us. If you guys have been around since day one, episode 128, by the way, we've had a lot of transformation and stuff going on. But thank you to Jay, and thank you guys for sticking around. We just talked Masters. We went in depth. I thought it was a great conversation. NBA, some really good stuff.
Phenomenal.
But let's talk what we love to talk about the most, man. Other than golf, let's talk some NFL, man. We have the draft. What coming up? It's less than 2 weeks, right?
Oh really?
We can. Yeah.
Oh yeah, April
22nd, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Everyone knows, Raider fan here. This is my time of year where I have hope, aspirations, dreams. Everyone's 0-0. The Chiefs are gonna suck next year. The Raiders are gonna be great. This is my time of year, and some news. We have some quarterbacks visiting the Raiders and the Browns. Our guy Jackson Dart, I think he's coming in tomorrow. Going to interview or do their private, interviews or settings. But what stood out to me and what I heard today, I was listening to a talk show. I don't know what it was. There was a woman on it, and she had said that Jalen Milroe has chosen to show up to the NFL draft. And we all know how that went for Will Levis. Showed up day one. His girlfriend looked with his, social media or his reality star girlfriend. She looked at first very happy. Look at my hot boyfriend who eats mayonnaise and coffee.
Oh.
She thought she was going to do the hugging. He didn't get picked round one. He cried like a little girl, didn't show up day 2. But I thought it was really, really shocking. And maybe I was listening to NFL radio or I don't know who it was. But Jalen Milroe, quarterback from Alabama, is choosing to show up to the draft day 1. This makes absolutely zero sense to me, Rafa. And this lady said, he has like a 50-50 shot to go in the first round. I said, wow. That's being really positive.
Extremely generous.
Right? I thought that too. And I did see a breakdown of Belichick, but this was like 3 months ago of Jalen Milroe. And his hands did grow magically at the pro day. I don't know what he did, but whatever he did. I don't know, but it is what it is. But it's a bold move. And I think he said, if I do go, I want to be there. I don't get it. To me, unless he has some kind of inside information, and these NFL teams tell these guys this shit all the time. If you're here at this pick, we're coming to get you. I mean, you hear the story after story. They tell all these guys this shit. And to me, I'd be surprised if Jalen went in the first half of the second round. To me, where do you guys stand on this?
Real quick, I wanna just so fans, I've never met people who love the draft more than people whose teams suck dick. And they're seriously. And so I would like to know from the NFL how long it takes for them to prepare for the NFL draft, because we've seen the NFL draft in Kansas City, right? Yeah. And we've seen it in Tennessee, which was fine because Tennessee, for the most part, kind of sucks dick. And I believe this year the draft is in Green Bay, right?
Yes.
Like, you should focus the draft like halfway through the season, like maybe week 8. Decide on the city then. So then the people like Eddie and Charger fans who look forward to the draft for years because they're not going to win a Super Bowl in probably their lifetime.
Wow.
Hey. You should focus on having the draft in those cities. Like, Vegas should host a draft every season.
It did host the draft. COVID.
They should host it every season because the team sucks dick.
like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Like,
They-
if you're a Chiefs fan, do you look forward to the draft?
Of course.
Do you? I don't.
You need a receiver. You got Zay. I mean, of course.
I don't even think that matters. If you're the Ravens, like, do you mock draft? I want to know a Ravens or a Chiefs fan that mock draft as much as Eddie.
Well,
Like,
Ooh.
Like,
I mean,
there isn't one.
I
You
mean,
should hold, if your team hasn't won the Super Bowl in since since
you're set-
1995, you should
or the
fucking host
or the Chargers, who have never fucking won the Super Bowl.
100,000 fucking %. Yes, you should host the draft all the time. The Chargers, it should be just a fucking loop. The Cowboys, the Chargers, the Niners. Yeah, because the Niners, although you've been very good and you've been to the Super Bowl, you haven't fucking won one either in a good while. You should be hosting the draft all the time.
Michael Brown. First of all, Rafa, they decide who's having the draft like 2 years in advance.
Obviously, that's what I'm saying. I would like
Yes.
to know what the preparation is.
Oh,
because halfway through the season, when we look down, Raiders 2-7. Let's do it in Vegas again.
I'm
You know what?
telling
The
you-
fucking Jags. The Jags are fucking 1-7. Let's do it in Jacksonville this year. Let's give those fans something to look forward to because
It
football
would have been in
on a-
Cleveland for like a decade straight.
Well, exactly. But football on the
No.
field, there's nothing to look forward to with some of these franchises.
That's
There
not
really
true.
isn't.
You guys are off on this. I'm telling you, the Chiefs. You need a left tackle. You need a fucking a guard. You're hoping to get that stud. I'm sorry.
No.
Good-
You're hoping to
No,
get.
no, no.
Yes.
They're
I'm talking
hoping
about
to get it, but they don't look forward
Eddie,
to it like we do.
No. You
Well,
look
okay.
forward to it, Eddie. You
Okay.
look forward to it as a 6-year-old on Christmas morning
I do. yeah.
because, but you don't. But Chiefs fans look forward to it like maybe a 19-year-old guy who's in college who's coming home to hopefully open socks because he hasn't washed them since he got to college. That's the difference between the Chiefs and the Raider fans.
Or a guy who dresses up like a fucking wolf and fucking robs banks and fucking all over the fucking country. Let's
Listen,
not forget about that fucking puto.
No, I'm just saying your draft is your Christmas morning. For
It
you.
is.
And for other teams, it is not. And the Eagles have done great in the draft, and they look forward to it. Fine. But with Raider fans and Charger fans, like, oh, I take the day off on draft day.
So
Why? So on the next season, you can have the same shit outcome.
So
You should be
listen,
rewarded.
I'm
with
ahead
the
of my
draft in
time.
your town.
I'm ahead of my time on this. I have a buddy who tells me, he's like, Eddie, he's like, you were so far ahead of this whole draft thing. And Michael Brown, who is my son-in-law, and he could attest to this. And this is not something that I'm proud of. Okay, this is not something that I'm proud of. But I had a badass poker table. I would have a draft party. I would have it catered. Shanae would make shrimp cocktail, beers. We'd play poker for hours on end while the draft was going. And Michael Brown took my daughter to prom. And I said, what? Like, no one told me. And you're supposed to take them, and there's like where parents go to the red carpet and hold swords and the kids walk under. And I told my wife, like, no, this is the NFL draft. Now we're talking about 20 years ago. I didn't fucking go. I was the only parent not at that prom holding the sword so the kids could go under because I'm playing poker and watching the NFL draft, and everyone thought it was crazy at the time. And now it turns out I was a genius. I was a trailblazer. I knew the draft, and Rafa will tell you is because the Raiders sucked, but actually the Raiders weren't horrible back then. And I still love them. And I still love the draft.
Does Brianna give you shit about that to this day?
No, she's a
or
Raider
MV?
fan. She understands. Michael Brown probably gives him more shit. You weren't there to hold up my sword, Eddie.
I feel so bad, but I was a dick like that. Like, I blame them. Like, wait, she's going to the prom with a fucking senior and she's a junior. Like, you guys told me like 2 weeks ago. I've had this draft party. Oh yes, he does. He does it. He doesn't give me shit, but now he will because we just reminded him. And don't tell Brianna. But I guarantee you, Brianna was like, "Man, my dad is a dick." But yeah, I'm sorry. Do
A
you
lot of
guys not
people-
love
a
this?
lot of- I love the draft, but not as much as you love it. I like
I
it just to
don't-
see where players are going.
I like the draft because of Eddie, but I could give I could 3 years ago I could give 3 fucks about the draft. Seriously.
So
I will say
I was-
Eddie
I'll
has
tell
piqued
you-
my interest in the draft way more.
So I was that dude 25 years ago that went to Ralph's, went to the
Michael
magazine.
Brown agrees with Rob.
I was the dude that went and got the the college football preview before college football. I got the Athlon Sports, the Sports Illustrated. I got all the magazines. I had them all, Rafa. And this was preseason to college. And then when the drafting came out, I went back to Ralph's and I got 3 magazines. They were $9.99 back then. You know, there were magazines, and I bought all of those shit. That's just who. What did Michael Brown say? Is he talking shit
He
again?
said I said he agreed with Rafa that you're the one that gets him going for the draft. He wants to see your analysis and reaction.
Listen, I'm just waiting for us. The Raiders, there's a list.
So he's not lying.
Yeah.
Spend his whole paycheck at the newsstand.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But there is a list, and people send it to me every year, like I haven't seen it, because it comes out every year around this time, of players that were picked one pick after the Raiders picked. And there's like 5, there's like Ed Reed, like Calvin Johnson, there's like Aaron Rodgers, and
Joe
you
Thomas.
look at that list, and people send it to me like, look at this. I'm like, I know, I everyone sends me that list every year, but that's how close you are to having another 5 Hall of Famers on your freaking team. It's one pick away from having Aaron Rodgers wearing the plata y negro for 20 years. You are one pick away from having Calvin Johnson. You're one pick away from having Ed Reed, the second best safety of all time, on your team. And man, I'm into it. I'm sorry. I'm into it.
I
Don't need to apologize. Eddie, it's your thing. It's your thing. but Will Hanley asks, does it really matter who the Raiders draft with Geno Smith as your quarterback?
Listen,
Thank you, Will. Thank you,
Will,
Will. I've been
okay.
preaching this shit for 3
Yes.
fucking weeks.
Hasn't he
dude.
been the most accurate quarterback the last 5 years, though? That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
he's been the most accurate at not winning a fucking playoff game. You're 100% right.
here's
Hey,
the
so
thing.
He's the most accurate, and he's gonna play in the best division in football. He's in that division, the 3rd best quarterback, maybe.
So here's the thing.
maybe.
That is a maybe.
Okay, that's not
That
that.
is a
Okay,
maybe.
he's behind Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. Ooh,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
fuck.
and by the way, he's been the most accurate quarterback at the last 5 years or whatever with a receiving core that the
2
Raiders
receivers, a giant and a midget.
and the Raiders don't have a quarter of that.
Just wait. Let us
Listen,
cook.
Go ahead.
Will Hanley, Rafa's been hammering this point. Like, you guys have fucking Geno Smith. Rafa would destroy us if we signed Sam Darnold. He would have destroyed us
100%. Garbage.
if we signed who's another Kirk Cousins.
Garbage.
To me, this was a good move. And if you could somehow draft a Jackson Dart, or for me, and I know you guys are gonna make fun of me. If Jalen Milroe is in that 3rd round,
Because
Hell
his
no.
hands grew over the week.
because his hands grew, and I need me some running quarterback in my life. I think it's a terrific bridge. I think he's a professional. Geno has he threw for like 5,000 yards last year. Okay, like
I don't see your
it
vision
was,
of Jalen Milroe, Eddie.
it was a good pickup. I'm sorry, better than Sam Darnold, better than drafting Shador and starting Shador. You weren't going to get Cam. It was your best actual option that you could have done. Period.
I'd laugh
Period.
my ass off if by like week 7 they're like 1-5, and this guy has like 9 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. I really would, because
it's
you gave him
possible.
$66 million guaranteed, and it would be a shit show.
For
Don't you
3
put that on
years,
Melissa,
Rafa.
Bobby.
For 3
No,
years.
no, but it's still guaranteed $66 million. That means
That-
that he's your
you-
starting quarterback for the next 2.
Yeah, $33 million a year. You know this, and I know this. That's a fucking bargain right now. You look at Trevor Lawrence, you know. And by the way,
Garbage.
and by the way, Brock Purdy still hasn't fucking been signed.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Matthew Rocha said, I was a big magazine guy too. Shame these kids don't even know about Slam or even sports. Actually, I used to collect Slam magazines, for your information.
Sounds
Very
like
cool.
Sounds
Very
like a
cool.
Gabe
He also
Kapler
said,
thing.
It was
my dad had a
absolutely awesome.
subscription and a stack in the upstairs of the garage. I used to cut out players and make binders. We replaced magazine subs with streaming services.
Oh, so Slam magazine sounds a little gay to me.
I wasn't like a big NFL
Slam was
dude
the
like,
shit.
like that. Like I wasn't a crazy NFL because I was such a Dodger fan that, and then I loved the NBA so much that as soon as baseball ended, I jumped right into the NBA because that's when it starts. So it was the NFL was like always secondary sport for me, always.
Paco Brown said, the passion of this Raider fan makes me want to run through a wall, but the wall's 40 foot thick when the season starts.
Yeah.
Listen,
Paco
there
Brown
is
keeps
hope.
listing my chapsticks, man. Aquaphor is the only one you need.
And he also collects chaps.
Can-
Mike, he uses Vaseline. He uses Vaseline 100%.
Yes.
Just this. Just this.
Can we get an Aquaphor sponsorship?
Can I get a
here? Come on,
sponsorship,
man.
please?
Yeah.
Yes. Aquaphor, where are you, man? We have your #1 user right here.
He's got cases. He's got as many cases of Aquaphor that Diddy had a fucking Johnson & Johnson baby oil.
Bam,
Too-
bam.
Too
Oh,
easy.
Diddy. Too easy.
Too-
Come on,
too
Eddie
easy.
Money.
So
too
I
easy,
really
baby.
don't have to take a piss on the break and get a drink. Eddie Money has to apply more Aquaphor.
Have to reapply.
Yeah.
100%. He puts it on 2 lips.
Woo.
Oh,
There
that,
we go.
that was too easy.
That was
Any-
too easy.
Any more? I want to bring this up. T-Mac, Chatora McMillan, Orange County, Servite kid, 6'5", I think is a tremendous receiver. I think is the best receiver in this draft. I want. Can I fire his buddy or a friend who filmed him? I don't know if you guys saw this. Who filmed him eating in a cafeteria or some kind of fast food restaurant, and the guy is filming him while T-Mac is eating, and they're like, "Do you like watching film?" He's like, "I hate watching film." He's like, "I don't watch film." He goes, "I watch it. I have to watch. I have to watch it in my thing. I don't watch any film." And some asshole, I hope it's not a buddy, I hope it's not an acquaintance, I hope it's not a teammate, release that, right? And I really do think it's going to have an effect on the draft. Because the one thing every GM and coach wants to hear is, I love football. I eat, sleep, drink, shit football. And to hear T-Mac very candidly, not looking at a buddy, he's chowing down on some Chipotle or something like that. Can I fire this punk ass bitch friend who released that to somebody and probably cost this kid, $1 to $2 million if he doesn't end up going? Because now I'm hearing 22nd pick, 18th pick.
That'd be wild.
Yeah.
If he's there at the Raiders pick, you have to take him. I think he's the best receiver in the draft. I'm with you. If I'm picking a receiver first, if I need a receiver, that's who I'm picking. I'm with you. I think he's the best receiver in this total bullshit. Whoever put that video out.
Well, 100%, Rafa, but that's the one bugaboo. That is the one thing that every GM, we're looking for guys that love football. And it doesn't look good. Have you seen the video, Eddie Money?
I just went on Reddit. Apparently that video is from 3 years ago when he was a freshman at Arizona.
Okay. Hopefully GMs look into that, because he was listen, I watched the kid since he was a freshman in high school at Servite. he single-handedly beat St. John Bosco. Who reminded me, I gotta ask a question about high school football. But he was so good, he did it. He was the most gifted and talented athlete at safety, by the way. I told Richard Dice this, Arizona legend, a Wildcat legend, that if he decided to play safety, he could have done it and been as good as Travis Hunter playing corner. That dude was, do you remember, Eddie Money, how good he was at safety and receiver at Servite?
Yeah, he was nice.
He was unbelievable. You couldn't throw the ball and he would go up and get it. So that's how much I have respect for him. But I'm glad you found that. And I hope GMs would do their homework and be like, that was 3 years ago. Now, just to sort of veer off really quick, little birdie told me, and I haven't confirmed this, and I haven't got any denial either, that modern day high school football, Santa Ana, who we have ties to, has struck a deal, a media deal for millions of dollars to play their games. And I'm not even sure where, on a certain stream or network. Now, I just heard this yesterday. To me, number one, I think it's genius, right? Because modern day is that team. My sons went to my handle is at Bosco Ed. My sons went to St. John Bosco, but modern day is the best team in the country, and it has been for the last 10 years. Even when Bosco won its national championships. When I heard this, I don't know if you can confirm or deny, Eddie Money, but this is wild to me, and I think it's a brilliant move.
Yeah, on Wednesday, Modern Day announced signing a 10-year deal for multimedia rights deal with sports marketing company Playfly Sports. They have the same deal with other colleges, but Modern Day said it's the first singular high school to sign such a deal in the country.
Wow.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. And that's probably going to help in recruiting and pulling some kids from St. John Bosco as well.
For sure.
True.
But yeah, back to the NFL.
Rick Flores says, when you're talking about T-Mac, says, unfortunately, that's the life we live now. It's so hard for athletes such stars to watch what they say, period.
Tricksters, real quick question. I don't want to go back, but I had a kid. I wanted to ask because Rick and I go way back, and Ricky Flores is the biggest Mexican you've ever seen from Chihuahua, Mexico, and his whole family. But we had a kid in my class who reminds me of the Joker. His last name was Morgan, the Morgan family. I don't know if it was Paul Morgan. This kid he reminded me of the Joker. He was 6'2". In the 6th grade, we put him on the basketball team. He moves like the Joker. I just wanted to bring up that to Rick. Is it Mike Morgan, Paul Morgan? I don't know if the Tricksters remembers him, but I wanted to ask Rick. That kid, he always had a big booger coming out of his nose, and he was 8 inches taller. It was all Mexicans. Paul Morgan, yeah. The biggest white kid. He probably ended up being like 6'8", 6'9". Anyways, blast from the past. NFL. Thank you, Rick. Anything more NFL related? Aaron Rodgers, what the fuck's his problem?
Nothing yet.
Why, Rafa? Why? Because
I told you this the other day. He's got other shit going on the side, and so for him to commit, sign to a team, and then there's going to be certain shit that goes on. That's probably, he's got, he does a bunch of stuff with Andy North. Golf tournaments here and there and shit like that. So, and I know you alluded to he doesn't have friends and he doesn't have family or whatever. They all hate him.
Kids. That doesn't have any of that shit.
But he's got other shit going on, I'm sure. So he's also still, in the process. I think it's still going to be Pittsburgh at the end of the day.
If he wants to go out, at least in the playoffs, he wants to make it back to the playoffs, then it's obvious he needs to go to Pittsburgh.
Mike Tomlin does that. That's what he does.
Well, yeah, whatever.
That's what Mike Tomlin does, baby.
That's NFL for today. I know Rafa wanted to get into some NHL.
No, we talked about NHL. I want to get in. I want to get into the tourney a little bit. And dude, what bothered me about March Madness this year, and when you watch this shit so closely, and especially in the Duke game, there at the end, like, why are they so bad at inbounding the fucking basketball? It really is, because when you watch Duke there at the end of the game, like, all right, Houston scores, and there was one play, Cooper flags right under the basket, grab the ball and inbound it quick. Yeah. Instead, they had another kid, and he had trouble inbounding the ball numerous times. It's so bad. Like, you know, we always talk about, oh, college, the coaches are so good because this and that. There's very few teams, and I think Houston's one, and Florida might be another. Auburn, I think, is the same way. When the basket goes down, any guy who's there is grabbing the ball and inbounding the ball. And to watch Duke just give away that game at the end, I mean, it was terrible for them to give it up like that. And then Houston to not even get a shot off, you know, there at the end. I think it was just a bad – the game was good. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It was a great game.
Yeah, game was good.
Game was good, but, you know, there's just – and I know they're young kids, but when we talk so highly of all these head coaches that they're this good, those are mistakes. Those are things that should be covered in practice. That missed shots are going to happen. Missed assignments on defense. That shit's going to happen. But something so simple as inbounding the ball, understanding how to get out of a trap, like that is just, you see some of these teams, when those teams go into zone, they're lost. When they go into a four-court trap, they're lost. Guess what, guys? When there's a trap, guess what's on the other end? A fucking 2-on-1 dunk, a 2-on-1 layup. And these teams don't convert them. And to see that in the Final Four, you know, in a semifinal game, you blow a 12-point lead with 2 minutes left or 3 minutes left or whatever it was, 3.5 or whatever. And for you to struggle inbounding the ball as a number one seed, to me, is ridiculous. And you watch a lot of these teams. I mean, teams, you know, you're down 10 with 5 minutes left, and you're waiting for a guy who's at midcourt to come all the way to inbound the ball because the other moron took off and ran off. Why? Like, I don't understand that. And that really bothered me the entire tournament. Not only in the Duke game, in the entire tournament.
So Rick Flores says, I've seen a few games. Basic mistakes were made more than usual. Like Rafa said, I will say this, right? And I've said this before. I like watching college basketball because the personality of the coach really translate. He can make a team play the way he wants to. Sampson from Houston, Patino at St. John's now. The list goes on.
Calipari, yes. Arkansas.
But here's the thing. They are so constricted. They are so anal about do it my way. I promise you this is the issue, Rafa, is that they want this kid. He's only allowed to take out the ball. They want this play. Everything is so measured and drawn up in college basketball. You know, I remember my dad, a high school basketball coach for 30 years. No one takes a shot until 3 passes are made. That's how college basketball, that's the Bobby Knight thing. It doesn't matter. The guy could be underneath the basket and if a guy makes 2 passes are made, my dad's losing it. You know, not to compare my dad to Bobby Knight, the best, but that is the train of thought. That this is what these coaches, they want it done exactly how they want it done. And it's good sometimes and it's bad sometimes.
I've never seen it work out for the good. I haven't. And Duke proved it. And you had other teams that did the same shit. I think Purdue might have been one of them. Like, it's just like, dude, and then the pace of the game. Like, if you're down 10 with 3 minutes left, what are you doing? Walking up the ball and getting into your set after 15 seconds. Like, there's no, it's like, what
they want to control the pace. They want to control the pace.
You're down 10 with 3 minutes.
I know.
You're not controlling the pace. You're down 10 in college basketball with a 30-second shot clock and a 20-second reset, which they changed a couple years ago, which was great. And I think they should change the reset after a rebound to 14 seconds, which would be a lot better for the game, I think. So,
but Rafa, I don't know if you felt this way, but I felt this way the whole tournament, and a lot of the year actually, because I watch a lot of college basketball. It's almost so predictable. It's almost impossible to lead a game from beginning to end. I don't know if it's because you have a 2-half system. I don't know what it is, but when a team is up 8 or 9 in the first half, or 8 or 9, and they're the favorite, right? And they're behind. I've called it every fucking time. It's like I said it this time. I told Shenango, Florida's going to win by 3. And I think Houston was up by 8 or 9 with like 7 to go, 4 to go. I said, this game's over. Florida will make a run, because as soon as that team who is a favorite makes that run, and right, basketball is a game of runs, and that team, it's almost like the other team's like, well, we knew we weren't this good. Now we're just, it was so predictable to me all year long, seeing teams that were better trail and then come back winning. It happened all year long. And a question to you. I heard a lot of people saying, well, Duke, you know what? Duke had a largest margin of victory all year. That was 17 or 21. It was something ridiculous. Duke wasn't in any barn burners all year, Rafa. And they're trying to blame that as
that's not that. They were up 12 with a handful of minutes left. They were up 12. They couldn't get a bucket on the other end. Houston clamped down. They stopped moving. They went to one-on-one basketball with Cooper. And that's what Duke went to. And when you stop scoring, right, and Houston's making buckets, and Houston is the best defensive team in the country. There was no doubt about it all year long. They were the best defensive team. You cannot play them in a slow half-court set. You have to keep moving, putting up shots, get up and down the floor. You cannot let them get back and settle down and set into their defense, because they were phenomenal. And they did that in the last 4 minutes. They played great defense. Duke allowed them to play great defense, because the ball just went to Cooper, and it was just, he was backing down. There was no movement. There wasn't, Proctor getting to the basket, kicking it out for an open three. There was none of that the last 3.5, 4 minutes of the game. There wasn't any of that. And I think the moment got too big for Jon Scheyer. I really do. And I think he relied on they had probably the most talent of the teams out there.
When Auburn was pretty damn good.
Auburn was phenomenal as well. But
an older team, a much older team, and they did a great job bringing in all those guys in from everywhere. But when you look at talent like Knipple and Cooper and Proctor, like there were guys there that roster had an insane amount of talent. And for you to slow it down to the pace Houston wanted you to get to, and then you got stuck inbounding the ball 3 different times. You struggled to inbound the ball. It was ridiculous, because you slowed it down and you let Houston get right back in that game, doing it the way they do it, which is by playing defense. And that's what it was. It wasn't, you weren't up and down like you were. They were averaging 91 points in the tournament up until that game, because they were up and down the floor. As they looked like an SEC team in that tournament for the first, 3 games or 4 games. They were up and down. And when they slowed it down there at the end, they played right into the hands of Houston. Houston's great defense, their great half-court offense that they have, and you stopped coming up and down the court, and you gave them the game. Duke gave them the game. And I guarantee you, if we get a Duke Florida, we get a game 81-79. That is what you would have got. And the game was great, but at the end of the day, it should have been, I think it should have been Duke there, and they gave that game away. And you have to sit there and I put total blame on Jon Scheyer. Like, there's no doubt about it. For me, for you to blow a 12-point lead in the last 4 minutes or whatever it was, is unthinkable. As a number 1 seed, like, that can happen to a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, a 9, 10. But as a number 1 seed, a team that was that dominant in that tournament,
is ridiculous.
Before we move on, we'll talk a little more. The show's coming to an end. Can we kill the rumor that Cooper Flag is not coming back? I don't care.
I think it's ridiculous, and I mentioned it the last time we had a show. I thought to me it's stupid because he's the number one player in the country. He was, he won the John Wooden Award. He was the best player. A lot of people say it was, the kid from Broome from Auburn.
Broome,
yeah. He was phenomenal as well, but he's also fucking, 32 years old. It's a joke, but but Cooper Flag to me is the best player in the draft. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you getting a guy who I think will go into the league and he will average 18 to 20 with 7 and 4 a night is what I think you're getting. And he's not going to stay. Even if they gave him, and I don't think anybody in college has ever gotten $15 million for one season. There's no way that even if you gave him $15 million for one season and he can insure himself for whatever, 50, 100 million, there's no way that he's not going into the NBA draft, and he should be the number one pick. And I'll tell you right now, if I'm a handful of teams, whoever wins that lottery, I'm offering them whatever they want. If I'm the Philadelphia 76ers, you can have fucking Joel Embiid. Let me get that number one pick. Take Embiid. Give me your expiring crap. And whoever wins that lottery. If I'm the Sixers, I want to go get Cooper Flag. If I'm whoever, I'm trading up. Knowing the NBA, they'll give them to San Antonio. They'll get the number one pick.
So
for Popovich.
Before we end, I want to ask both of you guys. I want you to give a state of the union for college basketball. Rafa, I know you're always going to love it because there's the gambling aspect, right? So try to take that out of it's very hard to take that out of the equation. March Madness is better than Super Bowl. That's just facts. It's the best time of year for Vegas, Atlantic City, wherever there's a casino. March Madness is king on that first week. Now we just had 4 number 1 seeds. Now Sally in accounting probably didn't win. Because Saint Bonaventure, where her cousin went to school, where met her, the aunts, uncles, dogs, cousins. Did win. You have a guy, who probably knows about basketball, probably won because the favorites. Where do you see college basketball headed with the portal and all this stuff? You think it's headed in the right direction or wrong direction after this not so incredible, shocking March Madness?
I think we touched on it last time a little bit. I think that all of the big schools, and you saw it with the SEC this year, right? The conference with the most money to spend. They're the best conference in every sport, whether CJ will admit it or not. So they have the most money. They're going to go out and get all of these guys from all these tiny schools that perform well. And look at Broome. He's been there for how long, right? He got to Auburn, played 2 years at Auburn. Phenomenal. And so all those teams that have all of that, all those schools that have all of that money, which are all the big schools, they will continue to poke at all those kids, whether it's from Drake or from Rhode Island or Saint Bonaventure of whatever, George Mason, George Washington, all of those schools. And I don't think we're going to see those Cinderella runs anymore because they're pulling those kids and giving them whatever it is, even if it's $100,000 for a kid who was at Wofford, and you give them $100,000 to come play here at Auburn or Kentucky or South Carolina or whatever. So, and I think you will keep seeing similar to what we saw this year. Maybe not 4 number 1s, maybe some 3s, some 2s, but I think we will continue to see the dominant teams that we see throughout the season. I think we'll continue to see those teams in the Final Four. So
is that good or bad for?
Well, it's good because when you watch on Monday night on ESPN or Tuesday night or Wednesday night or whatever night it is, you're watching Kentucky and Duke and North Carolina and UCLA and Iowa and Wisconsin and all the big schools. We're not watching for the most part, on Monday night or on Tuesday night, we're not watching Wofford versus College of Charleston. So for the season, it's great. For March Madness, a lot of people, you're going to get some of those people that are going to fall off after the first week because an Oakland didn't advance to the Sweet 16 or a George Mason or a VCU or any of those teams. I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see that. And whether we've seen Gonzaga for the last handful of years be a number 1 seed, number 2, number 3. This year, Gonzaga was an 8. Gonzaga struggled because of the NIL, whether people want to admit it or not. They have. They will continue to. And they have a great head coach, but they will continue to fall off. And that's one of the bigger basketball schools. And so I think March Madness, I think it's going to kind of go the way it went. And I think it'll be fine because at the end of the day, that's a 3-week thing, right? For March Madness. Yeah. It's a 3-week deal. And or 3 or 4 weeks, whatever. Their money is not in March Madness. Their money starts in November. From November to March is where the money's at. And where does the money come from? ESPN, Fox Sports. Fox Sports is not airing the small schools. They're just not on a nightly basis. On a Saturday morning, you're watching Big Ten basketball. You're watching Iowa against Wisconsin. You're watching Purdue. So I think for them I think for the sport it's better because people want to watch Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke, Florida, Auburn, Alabama. They want to watch those teams be great. It's all fun. It's fun when Oakland's in the Elite 8 or in the Sweet 16. It's all fun. It's great. But at the end of the day, it's not the best basketball. And when they get to the Elite 8 and they lose by 20, it's not great.
I'll just play devil's advocate for a little bit. And this is what I think, why I don't think it's going in the right direction is because people love the David versus Goliath story. And that is going to the wayside. Because of what you said, we will never see that again. And that's what makes March Madness, the 15 Princeton beating the 2 seed, Yale, beating, and we're not going to have that anymore. And people love the David versus Goliath narrative. And I think it's gone. And I'll end on that.
All right. So, I mean, you get it the first weekend, but after that, I don't want to see it anymore.
We didn't even get it the first weekend, though, Rafa. We didn't get it.
No, we didn't. We didn't get it the first weekend.
Yeah,
we didn't, and I don't think we're going to get it much longer.
Yeah. So
big schools will stay on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Roger said, when pro leagues got sponsors in the 50s, leagues that couldn't find funding fell by the wayside, and the good brands from those leagues joined the leagues with money.
By the way, I want to give you a quick take on this. It's off topic. It's back to the NBA. So the Lakers have started the fourth quarter down. Dallas they're on an 11-2 run to start the fourth. And the fourth quarter started with LeBron James and Austin Reeves. I'm just looking at the stats and now looking at the play-by-play. You're expecting these guys to now get going when you've deferred to Luka this entire game. If you look at the box score here for this game, Luka has taken 22 shots while Austin Reeves has only taken 7. Your second leading scorer for the last week and a half has been Austin Reeves, and he's only got 7 shots. And that's why in the first 3 minutes of the fourth, you've now taken a lead that you had of 7 to start the fourth, and you're down 2 because Austin Reeves is sitting there not taking a fucking shot in the entire third quarter. So I think it's a bad. I know they wanted Luka to show out, and he had 31 in the first half, and he had 7 in the third. But it's stupid.
It's too important.
Game's too important for that.
These games at the end of the year, I can't remember how they mean so much. And shout out
this
to
year
Austin.
They do, by the way.
They do. Shout out to AR-15 who we thought was just the second best option because there was no one on the fucking team last year, and he was getting so many opportunities because no one else wanted to shoot the ball. Austin Reeves has shown up, and that deal actually looks like a freaking bargain at this time. And man, Austin Reeves, wow, he has proven me wrong, and
he's been phenomenal the last week and a half or so. I mean, he's been the second leading scorer on the team behind Luka the last handful of games. He's been phenomenal, and for him to only have 7 shots with 9 minutes left in the third quarter is ridiculous. While Luka's had 22 and LeBron's had 13. So and a game that you have to have because you have Denver, the Clippers, and the Warriors all a game behind is stupid.
I want to say this before we leave. Eddie Money, we good on time? We have 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to UNC Wrestling. I know it's we cover a little bit of NCAA wrestling. North Carolina Wrestling has just signed the most polarizing athlete. Maybe, there's been a couple. There's been Thomas Gilman. There's been a couple, but if you guys haven't heard of this name, AJ Ferrari, go follow him. Mr. Fast Twitch, a kid who I've been watching wrestling since he was in 6th grade, who has always been just dynamic, and he's exactly what this sport needs. It needs personality. There's been some guys, Jordan Oliver, I know Carter Sirachi. I've tried to bring in personality, but there has never been a personality like this young man. And he's a must-watch just wrestler, a true freshman national championship at Oklahoma State. Got in, had some issues or whatever, but he is now going to University of North Carolina Tar Heels. That's the one thing that has been missing with that program is an environment to fill that stadium up with fans. And he might be more hated than loved at this point, but it doesn't matter either way. He brings eyeballs, and they've signed a couple other kids. But I'm just so excited to watch this kid, this young man, raise the level and interest into this program. I want to say good luck to him. I want to say good luck to UNC Wrestling. I think it's going to be one heck of a year. And go follow this Mr. Fast Twitch on Instagram. I promise you this, you will not be bored. And this kid is he's an alpha male, works extremely hard, and he's a whole lot of fun. And it's exactly what the sport needs, but it's more important. It's exactly what UNC Wrestling needed. And just excited. I'll end on that. Anything else, guys, before we leave? Any last words?
Yeah, I got some. CJ came in here late. Tune by Skin Tone. He said he wants a morning routine of Rafa and Eddie when you guys go golfing, Ashton Hall style.
Oh yes. I said I should do that. I should 100% do a 38 camera shot of me putting on my $600 golf outfit, tying my shoes, belt on, and then going out and playing golf like absolute dog shit. I think it would be the most hilarious edit of all time.
If you guys recorded it, I will edit it. I will edit it.
We might have.
You want to get me out the shower too, or no?
100%.
No, you have to dip your face in like
in the Saratoga bottle.
You should go like something
like
Saratoga.
The better.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do Aquafina. I'll do Aquafina.
Yes,
so we get Aquafina going.
Or Arrowhead. Like Arrowhead needs.
Oh, Arrowhead's disgusting.
It is.
Arrowhead's disgusting. Like people who don't drink water, like, oh, water's water. The fuck it is.
Oh,
hell no. In Arrowhead water, it's like it tastes like you could taste the fucking dirt in that shit still. Like
100%.
Dead ass.
I know what you mean.
I can only drink Arrowhead like if it's 102 degrees outside and it's the only shit available.
That's the only time you drink it.
Oh, and if that's the only thing, and I'd prefer if someone had a hose, I'd fucking turn the hose on.
Oh yeah,
hose, the metallic
hose water.
Dude, hose water, right?
It's the reason I don't get sick.
Is that fucking hose water, dude? And if there's no hose, straight to the faucet, Ed, right?
Yeah, head to the side. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yes, for sure. We gotta do that edit. I'm 100%.
Maybe I'll do it this weekend for the 2 rounds I'm playing. I'll do
Hell
it.
yes.
I'll do it at the Win. I'll do it
And
there in the room.
Cascada.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect. Oh, with
Oh,
the shades
man.
that open automatically start up that. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
All right,
Drop it in the
I'll see
robe.
if I'll. Oh, dude.
It's gonna take, dude. You got to literally take 56 shots. Like you going into the elevator while Jackie films you, and the elevator closes. You handing your bags and you getting into the car, and then after you get in the car, you have to back up and pick up Jackie because she recorded you. Like that's when I see those. Like when I see those videos, that's what I see. That I'm like, wait, hold on. Someone recorded you, or you have a stand. You got into, and then you got to go back up and then get your stand. And like, I don't know why people can't fathom what goes into those shots. Like someone's recording you getting.
I always think of that. I always think of that. Like when people record themselves parking, they gotta put their cameras
Like,
in real
yes,
estate. They gotta
the
pack up. They
parking.
gotta drive.
The parking thing. The parking thing drives me wild. It drives me wild.
So you want me to do it? You want me to do it?
Yes.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Oh my god. Yes.
And
Start
Matthew
it
Russia-
with Jackie shaving your back in the bathtub.
No, I already did that.
Oh damn it.
Shit, we got that down already. Fuck. All right, I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can record it, and then.
Dude, I will pay a videographer to let's do it right. Let's do it right.
Icon Brown said it's so ridiculous walking in and out of a restaurant twice to get a shot. It makes you want to throw their phone across the restaurant.
It's, oh my god, it's yeah. You know what? As much as he's a doucher and he's 5'5", Saratoga had to have paid him at least $2 million because what he's done for them. I'm sorry, Rafa, you could do it. You could do it for Bic. You could do it for Arrowhead Water. You could do it for Malbon. I'm telling you, it's a genius marketing thing. And he's already gone, right? He had his 15 minutes. Like
Oh no, he's still going. He was just at
still-
the Miami Heat game.
He's still
yesterday.
going.
He's not on
still
my.
going.
He's not on my fucking shit anymore. Maybe
Bleacher
'cause
Report just like he got paid to be on Bleacher Report.
Really.
Yeah, his whole
See-
routine for the Miami Heat game.
I refuse.
God.
I refuse to hit the like button. I guess that's why I don't get the algorithm. Cause I won't. I just won't do it. But so he's still around. Interesting.
Will
then
Hadley says the Raiders take Ashton Hall in the first round.
Again, Will, the most genius freaking comment of the day.
He said it
Again.
wouldn't be their worst pick. Probably not. Probably not.
We know that there's a rumor that Raiders picked the wrong guy with the same name. I forget who it was. The
I know you're talking
tackle.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And so
Yes.
they might instead of Aston Genty get Ashton Hall.
If he's a running
a-
QB, Eddie's in.
100%.
Dude, I'm gonna do it and tag Malbon, and I'm gonna wear all Malbon on Friday.
Dude, but you had to get a close up when you tie the shoe. Put the
When you
belt
throw it over
on.
yourself and then you tighten it down. When you put on the
Taking-
belt, everything.
Yeah, putting the clubs. I'm telling you, like 62 shots, and Eddie will get it edited.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Jesus
dude, how
Christ.
Also,
No.
Matthew Rocha, he gave a shout out to CJ for being on TV this past week, doing his first news segment. Shout out,
shout
CJ.
out, shout out to
Shout out
to
to nobody
CJ.
skin tone.
Skin Tone, man. Skin Tone, just he's using us as a stepping stone, as he should. He's like, I've been on two nobodies. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? And thank God, Eddie, I was going to mention, thank God, as we leave, let's show our intro one last time as we leave, because I'm so tired of seeing the SEC is so trash. I'm so tired of seeing that Josh Allen will never make the playoffs again. This fool is a crumb bum. I am so over that intro. So thank you, Eddie, from saving us from that intro. If I never see the SEC is straight trash again, I never want to see it again.
By the way, Moises Arona says it's been a while. Great show. Thank you, Moises, for tuning in.
Thank you, Moises. You are the man. Moises, hit us up on the DM. I got a couple sweatshirts. My wife's like, we got to get rid of the 3 or 4 sweatshirts. I need to send them out. Although, when I sent out all that gear, I went to the UPS store. I couldn't believe the prices to ship this shit. It was
Oh yeah, it's overboard.
insane. But anyways, and Will, can you please send us a picture with the hoodie on? I mean, it's probably still cold in Cedar Rapids or wherever the hell you are. So
By the
that
way,
being
tune
said-
into the Laker game. LeBron's putting on a show in the 4th.
No,
we gonna
Luka came
do it,
back in and it made everything flow again.
Yep.
that's
I
what
think LeBron's got 9 in the 4th or
let's
11.
hope JTR is not the ref and fucking eject him for
They're
whatever.
up 8 with 440.
Yay!
All
Well,
right.
guys, that's episode 128. Eddie, is it possible to end on that? Can you play that?
I can play right now.
Play
Oh,
that thing.
God.
I'm a nobody, baby. Light me up, pour me up. I'm gone. Got me seeing genies in a bottle. Liquor got me feeling like a wrestler. Call me Santiago. Everyone listen when I speak. Don't know shit about shit, but I know ball.
All right.
Good night,
Rick,
y'all.
Rick says, save the shipping. I'll pick it up.
All
Later,
right,
fellas.
guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Later.